Katie, and today I'm going to make a popcorn munchie mix. This would be great if you're having a Super Bowl party, or if you're watching the Super Bowl by yourself, or if you want to watch a movie, or if you're going to read a book, or if the day ends in Y. So it's just a seasoned popcorn mix with a bunch of goodies in it. I popped half a cup of popcorn kernels. I use my air popper. You could also pop it on the stove top. You could even use microwave popcorn. You just want to adjust your seasonings like your salt if you're using something that has salt. So I am pulling the popcorn out of my popping bowl here. First of all, I want to measure how much I have. I also want to make sure that anything that's unpopped in the bottom gets discarded. So I'm just pulling the popped popcorn off the top and letting the unpopped popcorn stay in the bowl and get rid of that. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. Okay, so I have about 16 cups of popcorn popped up all like that. And now I'm going to add some more fun things, and you can add whatever you like. I'm going to add about 2 cups of pretzel sticks. I have about 2 cups of oyster crackers. I'm making mine dairy-free, but if you wanted to, you could replace these for goldfish crackers. I have about 2 cups of unsalted, dry roasted peanuts. If you use salted, you'll just want to adjust your salt for your seasoning mix. And I have about 4 cups of a rice cereal. I'm using generic rice Chex. You could use rice Chex or corn Chex, or they're generic, or any kind of cereal that you want. You could use Cheerios, anything like that. So 4 cups of that going in. I'll go ahead and stir this all up. You can add anything else that you like. You could also add more or less of any of these ingredients. Alright, so I transfer my goodies to this big roasting pan. I could have just mixed it in this, saved myself a step. But I have it all in here, and now I'm going to go ahead and get it seasoned up. I have 1 stick, that's half a cup of butter or margarine melted. I'm using dairy-free Earth Balance. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1 teaspoon of onion powder. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Half a teaspoon of ground cumin. 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper powder. Salt to taste. You might want to use about a half a teaspoon. If you're using salted butter, salted peanuts, or salted popcorn, you may omit this entirely, so just taste it. And to round it out is black pepper to taste. Feel free to change up the seasonings to suit your taste. You can add a splash of hot sauce or Worcestershire sauce. I was really tempted to add some of my Korean red pepper flakes I used to make my kimchi, but I figured I would stick to ingredients that most people have in their pantry. But anything that you like will work, and it will be delicious. You stir up your butter just before you pour it so that it's all mixed well. And then just pour over everything. And then stir to coat evenly. You want to make sure you're just tossing from the bottom, gently stirring so you don't break up the popcorn too much, but you want to make sure you're stirring it well. You want to make sure every single piece is perfectly coated. Okay, you want to pop this into a preheated 250-degree oven, and I'm going to stir it every 15 minutes. So I just pulled this out of the oven. It's baked for about an hour, and I went through and stirred it every 15 minutes. Just tossed it around. And now I'm just going to leave it in this pan, let it cool completely. I'm going to come through every few minutes and just toss it so it cools evenly. And then I'm going to transfer it to an airtight container, and it will be ready to enjoy. I hope you like my recipe and give it a try. If you try any interesting variations, leave some comments down below. I'd like to try your version as well. And thanks so much for watching, guys.